Check one, check one. Welcome back, everybody in the chat. What's happening? Welcome back to an all new episode of Let's Talk Lions Live. Good to have you guys here. Let me know in the chat. Can you guys see me? Can you hear me? How does it look? How are we feeling on this bright Saturday morning? What's going on? GP2K, my man, Kieran Dawkin, Kyle Massey. What's happening? John Robinson, Steve DeYoung, Jeffrey Militzer. Welcome. Lions fan, one Paulie LFP. Welcome back, everybody. How's everybody's week been? Good to see you here. It's been a little bit because we missed last week, right? Yeah. I ended up going camping over the weekend. For those of you who do not know, who may have missed it, went camping, went up to Sleeping Bear Dunes. My wife and I love outdoors, love adventuring. And Michigan in the summer, I gotta say, man, this place is a gem. I don't think people know how incredible Michigan really is when it comes to the summer. Yeah, winter's long. It's pretty gray, but the summer out here is insane. It's beautiful. Sleeping Bear, the west side of the state. You go up north. I mean, the UP is outrageous. Absolutely outrageous. First time I went to the UP, I was like, nobody has ever talked, like outside of Michigan, nobody talked about this place. And the fact that Michigan swindled the UP out of Ohio for Toledo, that's freaking wild, man. That's wild. Sorry, I know I'm on a rant about Michigan and how beautiful it really is. But Lake Superior and the pictured rocks, man. And anytime I have a friend visit me from New Jersey, when they see Lake Michigan, when we go to the west side, take them out there, take them camping or whatever. You know, I'm used to the ocean. I'm used to looking out at the Atlantic Ocean, and you're sticky with salt 10 miles out. You take people out there, you walk through the woods, and immediately you're like, where am I? How is it? How can you not see the other side? This idea of the lakes are literally so great, so vast. I'm going off on Michigan's beauty this morning because, man, it's really a gem. It's really a gem. Anyways, welcome back to an all new episode of Let's Talk Lions Live. We're here to talk all things Detroit Lions. For those of you guys actually that are already in the chat, if you wouldn't mind, if you could hit the like button, that just kind of boosts it right now. It's kind of like remember you playing like Sega Genesis, right? And you hit turbo boost, and then all of a sudden your character just moves way too fast. But then the moment turbo boost runs out, you're like, oh my God, I feel like I'm going slower than molasses being dripped out all over a Kroger floor. I don't know. Welcome. What's going on? Sepatown, my man, Jonathan Bear, Aaron John. Appreciate you letting me know that the stream looks good. Jonathan Bear missing me, my man. I gotta say. So, like, obviously I was gone through Wednesday. I realized, like, I'm out there Sleeping Bear. And it just kind of hit me one morning. I was like, man, do I love what we're doing here so much? I was like, man, I just want to go look at OTAs. But I said, I gotta step back, cut myself from the screen, from the internet. Took 3-4 days, didn't look at it once. It was difficult, but it was definitely worth it. Definitely missed doing this. You know what? Brandon Davis, you are not wrong. The east side of Detroit, east side of Michigan, I got to say, Michigan, the east side did get gypped. I mean, Port Huron's nice. I love going out to Port Huron, but it is its own feel, its own thing. The west side and the north side definitely got the treasure. They got the treasure. Yeah, Traverse City, beautiful place. John Kapler, my man, Sega Genesis, 4 days. Do you have any idea how many countless hours I spent playing The Lion King or playing Garfield for that matter? I could not beat Garfield. You get through that one level with all the bats flying around. It's probably like level 2. Couldn't beat it. I didn't beat The Lion King on Sega Genesis until I was 17 years old. That was back when they made games that they said, you're not going to beat these little boys. Like, you will not beat this game. What a time. What a time. Oh, Ravers Kicks, my man. Thank you for being here, everybody. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. So a lot has happened. A lot has happened this week. You kind of look at the OTAs, you look at the whole Todd Gurley thing it felt like that one came out of nowhere. That was like a twister, like the movie Twister. I had never heard the phrase SOB used so many times in my life until I watched the movie Twister. I was like, are we allowed to just say that? Is that something that you can just say? No, but Twister, what a movie. What are you guys drinking today? Trox, my man, Troxel Sports Streams coming in with a donation hot right out of the gate. Keep grinding, brother. One Pride for life. Trox, my man. If you guys do not know Trox, I mean, you have to know Trox. Trox is like 15K, 20K subs. The guy is a live streaming god. Go check him out. Also, I have to say, Trox, one of the nicest dudes I have ever met in my life. Definitely one of the nicest dudes. Go check out his channel. The guy's awesome. All right, so let's get into it. Jonathan Bear, what part of Michigan? Metro Detroit area. Somewhere there. You guys might catch me at a coffee shop somewhere along the way. I do love Dessert Oasis. You guys might catch me there. You guys might catch me Foster. You might catch me Madcap. There's a lot of places. I like good coffee. That's why we do this Saturday mornings, because I can drink to my heart's content and until my hands are shaking far too much. Let's see. Boa Brothers coming in hot. How would you feel if Todd Gurley came to Detroit? So I put out a video, 2 days ago when the news dropped. My answer to that is I don't really want it. Truthfully, I don't want Todd Gurley coming here. Now, listen, I understand the idea of you get him in here for depth. You put him on just short yardage, maybe red zone specifically. We've seen the man try not to score a touchdown and still score one in the red zone. That's right. Look at it last year. What a time. I think Todd Gurley coming to Detroit, and I never want to listen. If you're in the NFL, you are the best of the best. There's no doubt about it. But when I look at him, I'm like, he's just a name now. He's just a big name. Todd Gurley. I made the reference to him and AP and being like, we might as well keep AP. Now, I know that AP didn't want to stay here. I know that. However, what I'm saying is Todd Gurley at 26, AP at 38 had the comparable stats. So at which point I'm like, why would we go and get Todd Gurley? It just doesn't seem like the right move, in my own opinion. Todd Gurley was phenomenal. That knee really killed him. Life goes on. I don't want Todd Gurley here in Detroit. If we got him, quite frankly, I would be scratching my head as to that is not the move that Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell and Sheila, that it doesn't align. You know what I'm saying? Like, going out and getting Gurley just doesn't align. At which point I'm like, if we're going to go get a big name washed up guy, go get a wide receiver at that point, or a linebacker. To me, don't waste it on the running backs, because I love our running back room. Love it. There is no word on Gurley yet, which tells me, Art, it's probably not happening. He probably didn't pass the physical, or at least not with flying colors. You know what I'm saying? I asked what you guys are drinking. We got John Robinson slamming a Diet Coke at 11 a.m. I guess it's mid-morning. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm just not a Diet Coke guy, not a soda guy. Haven't had soda in years, actually. Kieran, drinking blood. What are you, a vampire? I'm definitely very, very intrigued by that. We got Sepatown just pulling down water. Nothing wrong with that. OJ from Ethan Horde. All right, let's see. 6 years old, no coffee. 60 years old, no coffee. Dang. Wow, bro. Living 60 years? No coffee in that 60 years? That's crazy. Good for you, John. You know what? It's not like there's no nutrition in it. It's not hooking you up. It's not helping you out. Let's move on. Yeah, so you know what? OTAs kind of took place this year. Have you guys seen the show Breaking Bread with Herman and Lomas, breaking down, or specifically the show called Breaking Bread with Herman and Lomas? It's Herman Moore, Lomas, these guys, old Lions players, talking about all things Detroit Lions, kind of breaking down different things. They specifically broke down Amon-Ra St. Brown's film, kind of talked about him a little bit. If you have not checked it out, I highly recommend it. They've only put out a couple videos, but I mean, you're talking Lions legends breaking down basically the Detroit Lions right now. It's phenomenal. Herman Moore, absolute legend, absolute beast. Listening to him talk about Amon-Ra St. Brown was very fascinating, very intriguing, hearing him talk about the way his arm moves, right? A little bit, just a quick synopsis of what I saw. There he goes, Amon-Ra takes off, and when he shakes his right arm out, he's actually, dicing to the opposite side. And Herman Moore basically just breaks down. He's like, yo, that's him. It's a tell for all seasoned DBs that see him do this, that they know he's going to break the other way. So really kind of just pointing out film, saying these are the things that Amon-Ra St. Brown has got to work on going into this year, going into this season. It was very fascinating hearing it. And really this idea of, Moore brought it up. He's like, Randall L is going to try to help him fix this problem that he's been doing for 3 years in 3 months, right? You're trying to fix a lot of these issues that you see a young guy like St. Brown have right now coming into the season before we get to the season, so that seasoned DBs can't just watch and be like, oh, okay, he's shaking to the left, he's shaking to the right. They talked about his explosiveness, really hearing how great of a pickup Amon-Ra St. Brown is. There's a lot of work to be done, for St. Brown, but very, I would say, enlightening, very enlightening. Go check out their channel. It's pretty great. So let's kind of talk about OTAs, my friends. And guys, if you do have any questions, drop them in the comments. Don't feel bad. Drop it in the chat. That's what we're here for. Here to just kind of talk to you guys, see what you guys got on your mind, got on your hearts. Do I think that Amon-Ra St. Brown could be our number one by next year? By next year, no. If I had to put my gamble on it, no, not by year 2. And listen, say what you want. I know that our wide receiver core has there's a lot of work to be done there. I don't mind it. I don't mind how fast it is. Yes, we need somebody else. We need somebody to step up and be that one. However, I think that Terrell Williams is really, really great. And people, all because he was gone or out last year, you kind of look at him and you're like, yo, I don't know. I don't know if he's got what it takes. Brashad Perriman, he struggled. I don't know if he's got what it takes. I actually like the pairing of the two of them. I think they're going to have good seasons this year with Goff. Am I replacing Torrey Petrie? Probably not. I don't think I could fill those shoes. I think the Lions would watch one of my videos and be like, this guy is all over the map. There's too many Lord of the Rings references, too many natural 20s out on the board. And I would happily accept it. But trying to fill those shoes, she's got a smaller foot size than me. So trying to squeeze in there, I don't know if it'll work. I'll bring my own shoes. That's what we'll do. Who's your dark horse player to come out and ball this year? I do believe it's going to be Brashad Perriman. That's my guy. I think that Brashad Perriman, a lot of people look at him and there's this like, oh, he was good, but he's always struggled. He's never gotten to this level that we really want him to get to. I think that Perriman comes out, balls out with Goff, the combination of the two of those guys. That's where I'm putting my money. Not much of it, but that's where I'm putting my money. So looking at OTAs, some of the stuff that I wanted to kind of hit, obviously, Jeff Okuda. I was reading an article trying to, grasp as much information as I can. First of all, it sounds like Jeff Okuda has really showed off, and showing that coming into his second year, there is going to be more excellence demanded and met. That's kind of what it sounds like. Just from everything I've read, from what I've listened to, it sounds like Jeff Okuda is stepping up. Granted, it's week 1 of OTAs. You only get so much information going out there. Another thing that I was looking at, kind of reading about, is Goff. I heard that Goff just looked, for lack of better terms, sharp out there. Looked good. It sounds like him and Hawkinson, him and DeAndre Swift, these guys pairing up, Everything's looking good. And you know what? Here's my thing about Goff. You guys know I have been like, I'm not like all aboard the train, like, yeah, Goff's the guy. This is going to be great. But I'm like, Goff is good. Goff is good. I have zero qualms with him coming here to Detroit. I think Goff is going to ball out. I think he's going to find success. So listening to people now all of a sudden be like, oh, wow, yeah, Goff is good. Well, of course he's good. He's in the NFL. And I read a stat by Tim Twentyman. You guys probably know who Tim Twentyman is. Does a lot of stuff with the Detroit Lions reporter. His stat that he dropped the other day in an article, he said that Goff is one of only 3 active QBs to throw for at least 3,800 yards and 20 touchdowns in each of the last 4 seasons. Like, have people just forgotten about Goff? And I know there's the whole, yeah, but it's, the pieces around him. So be it. So be it. That stat is still legit. And you look at Goff, he's coming in here, huge chip on the shoulder, and he wants to prove people wrong. I am excited about that. Definitely excited about that. Moving on. Let's see here. Some other OTA stuff that I was kind of looking at. Tavai lost like 17 pounds, I guess, according to Aaron Glenn when he came in. He was like, oh, yeah, he's looking good. Tavai needs to show up this year. You look at last year, he took a major step back. And it's really difficult when I look at last year because looking at last year specifically, our leadership was garbage. Coaching was garbage. Patricia was garbage. So like when you have this type of crappy leadership coming from the top down, there's less wanting to get it done, except for other than self gain, trying to push yourself further. It felt less like the Detroit Lions didn't look like a team. It looked like a bunch of individuals out there trying to prove that they can still play next year. That's kind of what I looked at last year. Just my own opinion. It felt like everybody was out for themselves, dog eat dog world. And so when I look at Tavai, I saw a lot of that. And he just took a step back. And so it sounds like this year coming into OTAs, he lost 17 pounds, shaping up and trying to get back to that 2019 version of himself. Another huge thing that we have not talked about yet is our defense moving to a 3-4 scheme under Aaron Glenn. First of all of you that are just popping into the live stream, thanks for being here. My name is Jay. Welcome to Let's Talk Lions live on a Saturday morning. I hope you're enjoying your coffee. Hope you're enjoying listening to me blab about the boys in Honolulu Blue. Josh there, give people what they want. That's what we're here for. I'm here to give you what you want. And that's just talking, rambling about Detroit. Yeah, so kind of looking back here, do I think Goff will retire with us? Oh, that's a weird one. Because he's only 26. Goff would have to ball out over the next 2-3 years to get that extra, to get signed for longer. Probably not. It's kind of like no, I don't think he will. I don't like he will. But yeah, great question. Yeah, so looking back at those OTAs, specifically our defense moving into a 3-4, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting now without the guru, the mastermind, the brainiac of Matt Patricia, who was supposed to save our defense. Instead, he self-imploded it. Defense is moving to 3-4 under Aaron Glenn. Excited about that. There's a lot to take in there. It's a more flexible defense. I think we can all agree to that. It's a more flexible defense. Linebackers moving about, the DEs, the defensive ends, how that's going to translate for Flowers. It takes a little bit more of specialty players, I would say, to have a successful 3-4. Again, just my own opinion. However, I think it's a good move. I'm excited about it. How good is the Detroit Lions defense as a whole? Great question, LFP. Next week, we will be breaking down in-depth reviews or previews of the depth chart. Actually, guys, let me ask you, how are you liking those videos? those videos where I'm kind of going through, talking about it. How do you guys feel? Because, like, obviously, I've broken down the QB room, I've broken down the wide receiver room, the running backs room, the tight end room yesterday. Are you guys enjoying that? Is that type of content that you like? Drop it in the chat. Look forward to reading it. This way I can kind of know. Because it seems like the tight end video didn't do so well. And people were just like, we don't care. We have Hawkinson. Move on, bro. Oh, all right. So kind of moving on. Obviously, Goff to Vi. Something also interesting was Penei Sewell going to right tackle. Right before we get into that, I do appreciate it. You guys, I'm seeing Ethan, you're enjoying them. Yeah, that you guys are enjoying those videos. That's really good to know. Penei Sewell going to right tackle. He was in an interview and he brought it up. They asked him, they were like, how is it? And he just came flat out and was like, it's hard. It's tough. I think Sewell, the last time he ever even performed at right tackle, it sounded like high school. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it sounded like it brought him back to his high school days. He said that there's a ton to learn. It's totally different. The way he described it is you've been actually writing as a righty your whole life, and then somebody hands you a pen and says, now write your name, and in the same speed, exactly the same, with your left hand. And I was like, wow, that is an excellent way to kind of piece that together. This idea of, like, you know how to write and you know your name, you know how to form the letters, but to do it at the same speed with your non-dominant hand is a great way to explain that. Campbell had an interview. Campbell kind of talked about it. They asked him, they said, hey, how's Penei Sewell looking? And his words were, he's a rookie. So it sounds like, hey, man, Penei Sewell is, as much as like he's the guy that we brought in, it sounds like he's still just a rookie. He's still learning. He's getting out all the kinks. And then you move Sewell to the right tackle side. Now, there's no pads. It's OTAs. No pads. Everybody's just helmets, shorts. And so hearing that, it's kind of like, all right, so Penei Sewell coming in. Our O-line as a whole is great, but like Terrell Crosby didn't show up to OTAs, and I know it's voluntary. But I don't know. I just think for me, I'm like, man, if I was in their shoes, I would want to be there. Like, I appreciate that Goff is there leading the helm. It says a lot when your QB is showing up to OTAs, showing up to voluntary practice. I mean, like, Goff was working out with Terrell Williams and other guys out in LA before the season even opened up, really. Oh, that is good coffee. For those of you just joining, thanks for being here. Appreciate you coming in to Let's Talk Lions live. Obviously, we missed the early portion of this week. As I said, I was camping. It was a great time, but we're back at it, breaking down some OTAs, breaking down some things that the coaches have been talking about. Aaron Glenn said something pretty interesting, talking about our defense, basically being like, yeah, they're going to go kick butt. I mean, different phrase, but that's kind of what he came out saying. And you know what? Somebody just asked a good question. I just saw it somewhere in here. Do we need Julio Jones? My answer to that is no, we don't need him. We don't need him. It's very difficult. When you are in the beginning of a rebuild, it comes down to price, I think, and Julio Jones and what he's worth. And I still think that Julio Jones is worth a pretty penny and worth a little bit. So, like, when I look at what the Lions are trying to do, how we're trying to build out, if we were to go get Julio Jones, it goes against the grain. Same thing with Gurley. It goes against the grain. It's a bigger name, higher profile player for what? In the first year of a retool, of a rebuild. I don't think that we need him. So I appreciate it. 50 Kazoo. Remember kazoos? Yo, playing in the kindergarten. I was so good at those, except for when you had to do like all the parents come and they watch you at the end of the year and then you drop your kazoo under the bleachers and you're like, oh my God, how do I get that back? And then you just stand there awkwardly. Not going to say it happened, but it did. Oh, Chummy. Interesting, Chummy. How do I feel about Trey Flowers as a linebacker? Nah, bro. Not so much. He's a defensive end to me. The way that his body type, the way he moves, the way really a lot of who he is. I don't think as a linebacker it would translate. But you know what? Hey, I mean, if you give him a go in practice, you kind of see how it runs, running, I think not. I think not, good sir. If I could get any player, offense or defense, who would you pick? My question for you, Xander Shea, is: are you talking about free agents or are you talking about anybody? So we'll come back to that one. Graham Wilkie, my man, what up, dude? Good to see you. Thanks for being here today. Appreciate it. Yeah, you know what? Trey Flowers is interesting because there's a part of me that feels like when he signed on, it was this huge mega deal. What was it? 90 million over 5 years? Correct me if I'm wrong in the chat. But like when I look at that, it was kind of this, let me get that long deal. And last year, his heart just didn't seem in it. I know he got injured, but whose heart was in it last year other than maybe DeAndre Swift? Any player from any team. Are you kidding me? Give me Stephon Diggs. I mean, listen, I love the Bills, but God, would I love to have Stephon Diggs as a wide receiver. I think looking at Stephon, the way he plays his fire, Diggs is not afraid to make a block. We need a wide receiver. If Stephon Diggs, if I was asked, hey, Jay, who do you want, man? Bring him in. I'd say, give me Diggs. Give me that man. Diggs came out the other day. What did he say? I want 5 Super Bowl rings. He went off on what he wants out of his career in the NFL. I love Diggs. Give me Diggs. Give me that wide receiver. You know what? You're saying, you would take Mahomes. I don't know. Mahomes, as good as he is, a hot take. Andy Reid. I think Andy Reid is so much that offensive play calling. I think Mahomes is incredible. Don't get me wrong, but I don't know. I mean, would I want him? I mean, if I got to pick a QB, if I had to pick a QB, ooh, I'm gonna have to think about that. I don't want to go too crazy here. Whose jersey would I buy of our guys on the current roster? I'm thinking of a Ragnow jersey. Give me Jamal Williams. That's what I want. I want to represent Jamal Williams because I think he represents everything that we need in this locker room. It would have been Prater, RIP. Give me Jamal Williams. That's my guy. Yo, Josh Allen, if we're taking a QB, no doubt. Josh Allen is a specimen of a human being. I guess we're just going to take the Bills offense. That's what I'm hearing. Josh Allen is unbelievable. His fire. The guy can chuck the ham like nobody else. And when other people aren't getting the job done, he gets it done himself. I love Allen. I love his fire. Definitely would take him. I could never take Rodgers. I could never. My brother asked me. My brother was like, yo, if Rodgers was like, I want out and went the Brett Favre route and was like, I'm going to go play for the Lions. No, absolutely not. I don't want you here. I don't care how good you are and what you have succeeded in. I could never, ever root for Rodgers wearing Honolulu blue. I might I don't know. That would be really tough watching those games because you want the success for the team. But seeing a man who has decimated us for 12 to 16 years of our lives, no, not interested. Oh, you got a Goff jersey? Dang, man. Ooh, Sewell. Sewell could be great. That could be a nice jersey. I don't want Tom Brady either. No, thank you. Absolutely not. Yeah, all in all, looking at this Lions team, looking at the offense, I mean, I've done the breakdowns. I am really excited. I think each one of our, running backs, QBs, tight ends, wide receivers, I think we're falling in the B category, maybe a little C plus. When I look at the tight end room, it's like a C plus to a B minus, maybe a B at the max. I think it's really a C plus in my own personal opinion because TJ Hawkinson that guy's an A. That guy is a stud, an ace. Love him. But then you look at the rest of our tight end room. Darren Fells, been playing since 2014. He's the veteran. All in all, you guys can check out that video. I put one out that kind of breaks down the entire tight end room. But after him, tight end 3, everybody jockeying for that spot. Young dudes, a lot of inexperienced guys, rookies, undrafted free agents. I mean, The tight end room is looking a little bit rough, in my opinion. Yeah. Tight end room's looking rough. Running backs room, I'm amped on it. That's why I don't want Todd Gurley. Somebody brought it up. I look at who we have between Swift, Williams, and then Jamar Jefferson. I want those guys getting the reps. That's what I would want for this year, as it's a retooling year. Bringing in a guy like Gurley, just not what I want. Not what I want to see. I want to see these guys, these young guys. Swift coming into his sophomore year. Williams been playing since 17. Jamar Jefferson getting drafted this year. These are the guys that I want to see taking reps all season long. If you guys got questions, feel free, drop them in the chat. For everybody else, welcome to Let's Talk Lions Live. Appreciate you being here. Yeah, we are going to do a linebacker room very soon. We are going to be moving on to the defense next week, kind of breaking down each one. I'll probably start with the linebackers because it's a very type of room. If I could put it, I don't know if there's any better words than Yeah. Some other stuff that I was kind of looking at just through listening to all these coaches talk. Who's going to return punts? Now, that's very interesting. Who is going to be returning our punts? I guess this week, Phipp, our special teams coordinator, worked out Khalif Raymond, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Victor Bolden, and Amos. They all took reps throughout this week. I really see that going because for those of you who don't know, we lost Jamal Agnew. Agnew went to, I believe, Jacksonville. He was our punt returner. He played a bunch of wide receiver actually last year as well. But when I look at it, I think it's either going to be Khalif Raymond or Amon-Ra St. Brown. Victor Bolden, I could see. But if you have Khalif Raymond and St. Brown on the active roster, they're returning the punts. It makes a lot of sense. I like Khalif Raymond as a punt returner. A lot of his stats might not stick out, get in front of your face, but I do like him. Would I take the GOAT Taysom Hill? No. How's that for an answer? Nah, I don't think so. Taysom Hill, very interesting player, but I don't know if he would fit what the Lions are trying to do offensively over here. Could be wrong, but I don't think he's going to fit that. Kyle, my man, what's happening, dude? Welcome. Good to have you here. There's 55 of you just chilling with me this morning, hanging out, drinking some coffee, talking Lions, man, talking basically anything. I'll ask me anything. We'll go there. But yeah, any other Lions questions, feel free, bring them in. It is interesting when you look at our wide receiver core. I was talking to somebody the other day about it. When you look at our wide receivers and how much it has changed, I did that depth chart review. We have one guy active roster who played last year for the Lions, Quintus Cephas. Like, that's it. Other than that, the Lions wide receiver room is incredibly different. And I saw an article pop up about Kenny Golladay, and I'm like, you know what? As much as I miss Golladay, as much as I really enjoyed having Golladay here, it's really nice not to hear that name and think about the money. Think about the angst. Think about him not going on the IR and having that hurt hip. Like, everything that kind of goes with Golladay. I saw that. I was like, well, it's New York's problem now. Really loved him, loved Kenny G, but man, it's nice not to worry about Kenny Golladay anymore. Yeah, and then I think, you start looking at you end up, when you look at the QB room with Jared Goff, a lot of people have their questions regarding Goff, and I get it. We talked about this earlier. If you're just hopping into the stream, I kind of want to reiterate a few things. A lot of people have a lot of thoughts regarding Goff, and it sounds like him coming into the OTAs, he looks good. He looks good. He's been working all offseason. He's out in LA doing his thing, meeting up with Terrell Williams. Pretty sure Jeff Okuda was out there as well. And it sounds like Goff looks sharp. A stat that I read earlier, for those of you just hopping in, Goff is only one of 3 active QBs to throw for at least 3,800 yards and 20 touchdowns in each of his last 4 seasons. That number is That number's stupid. Like when you think about that and you're like, he's only one of 3 active QBs to do that. People have just sort of kind of, I don't know, taken the wave in and they're just like, all right, Goff is done. He hasn't won with LA. He didn't do it. McVay doesn't like him. Get him out of here. Move on. To me, we got a fantastic QB. And let's face it, Matt Stafford wasn't getting it done. And I know, like, I love Stafford. I love what he gave to us for 12 years. But the man wasn't getting it done. And at some point, you got to move on. How many regimes have come in trying to use Stafford, trying to make it happen, and it's just not working. Goff is solid. YouTube guy, what a name. Great name. But yes, absolutely. Yeah, you know what, Kyle? You did. You hit me up and you asked, about me reaching out to Lions staff and players. Have I tried reaching out? And what has the response been? I have tried reaching out and I have gotten crickets. I don't think people are just like, I don't know who this bro is, but not interested. Reached out to many a player, the Lions organization. I think I'm not taken seriously yet. Maybe that's it. Maybe I got to have like 10K subs and then they're like, oh, then we'll listen to this dude. Maybe we'll have him on. Let one of our guys. Nah, nothing yet. So I appreciate it. I am reaching out. I am trying to get in contact with the Lions. I've sent them way too many emails. They're like, he's just spamming us. And I'm like, welcome back to 1998 and American Online. Oh my God. Remember IMing? Woo. For those of you who are too young, man, with the red and the blue, and you had your screen name. It was good stuff. A lot of weird information went out through IM group chats. Oh, what a time. AOL. God, do I miss it? We should probably bring that back. What do you say? Yeah, and you know what? You're not wrong. Hey, listen, for those of you that are a part of this, like obviously the fact that we have 3,600 some odd subs is insane. Each one of you is making an impact. The best way that you can help me grow is just sharing this. You watch a video that you're like, this is a good one, send it to a friend. That is the best way you can support me. You can support this channel. It's never been about the subs. It really wasn't. It was me just wanting to talk about the Lions to anybody willing to listen. And that's you guys. And the amount of awesome conversation I've had, the amount of things like I'll put stuff out there, put my thoughts, and you guys hit me up in the comments and it gives me such a different perspective. And I really do appreciate it. So I appreciate all you guys and I appreciate what we're doing here. Record prediction coming in from Andrew Stokas. I did say this, I think, on my last live stream. I'm going 7-10. I don't think we break 500. I think those 7 wins do come in. There's a lot of games that are flip-flop, whether it's Atlanta, Philly, any of the dirty bird teams, really. Cincinnati. There's some games that I think we kind of it could go either way. It can go either way. I do really believe now. I have had people call me out and they're like, you're an idiot. And I'm like, okay. I think that the Lions beat LA because the Lions, if there's anything that I really believe Goff and Detroit is going to give all that they have, it's beating Stafford. It's beating McVay. It's beating the Rams. That is my wild goose chase record or a game prediction. It's that we beat LA out in LA. That is what I want to watch. I mean, listen, Stafford, you've given us everything, but to beat Stafford with this new regime would be so interesting. It'd be a blast. Jared Goff wants to win. Brockers wants to win that game. Brad Holmes wants to. That's the game that I do believe we upset, we win. That's a huge one for us. Yeah, the Lions do have a tough schedule. You're not wrong. It's going to be interesting. Last question coming in from Kyle. Have you heard about the relationship between McVay and Goff in terms of Jared's comments about his wife? Apparently, it ruined the QB head coach relationship between the two. I have heard that Goff said some things about McVay's wife, and basically just what you're saying. Maybe they were things. Listen, should never talk about somebody else's wife. That's just a rule of thumb. Don't talk about somebody's mom. Don't talk about somebody's wife. Easy. You learn that in like the 5th grade. Well, at least regarding the moms. There's no wives yet. Wives, you're like 16. Just come on. Keep it together. Don't talk about that guy's wife. it's just wrong. So yeah, supposedly Goff said some stuff. That's a part of what ruined the relationship. And I could see that ruining the relationship. If you got awful things to say about somebody's other half, literally the other 50% of them, yeah, it's not going to go well. So I totally understand McVay being pissed about that. But in another sense, Goff's a young man, 26 years old. Maybe he just shouldn't have said anything. You know what? I don't know who is going to be on Hard Knocks yet. I would not mind if it's the Jags. What an interesting one that would be with Minshew and Trevor Lawrence and Tebow. Friggin' Tebow. I would be very intrigued regarding that. I would totally watch that. I am bummed. I don't know if you guys watch the Amazon Prime series. What's it called? All or Nothing, where they cover an entire season. Really bummed because of COVID. We don't get that from last year. Would have loved to have seen that. That's one of my favorite shows that comes out. That and Last Chance University. Definitely love it. Definitely loved it. Yeah, I don't know. Are you going to the Rams-Lions game this year? You're going. Dang, dude. That's awesome. Man, hey, congratulations. That's huge. I am not going to that unless I can convince my buddy. I had him on for draft night, trying to convince him to get us tickets and fly us out there. He is not budging, but I'm going to keep working that like a good massage, not like you know what I mean. Going to try to work that one out. Probably not. I do hope to go to a game this year. God, I don't know if there was a home game that I would want to go to. I believe we're playing Philly home. Wouldn't mind seeing us play Philly because I hate Philadelphia. Would love to beat them. Love to see that game. But no, I'm not going. Congrats on you, man. I know that the Gridiron Blitz is going. Definitely jealous. Super cool. Would be fun to go to that game. All right, so we got that one guy in your class. I really do think that all our wide receivers are going to go crazy this year. You know what? I look at our wide receivers. I look at that core. Look at that group of guys. It's a bunch of speed demons. Speedy, great at separation. That's a huge thing looking at this wide receiver room. Excellent at separating. We don't have any big-bodied guys. Now, the undrafted free agents that we brought in, McKinley, Adams, and Sage Surratt, maybe not Sage Surratt, the other two guys, bigger-bodied individuals, and I love that. Jonathan Adams specifically, put that man on the outside. I think that Adams is going to have what it takes to help create a little bit more of that, because you have all these guys that create separation. Then you get a big bodied receiver on the outside, kind of replicating Kenny G. Would definitely love to see that. Who is the most motivated player this year? It's Jared Goff. It's got to be. It's got to be. In my own opinion, to be treated the way he was treated, he's looking at this. This is his last shot at proving, hey, I'm a starting QB in the NFL. Like I'm the guy. I'm a franchise quarterback. He has got to be, I think he's the most motivated to make the greatest impact and to prove, whether it's a winning season or not, to prove I'm the guy. I'm the guy. I can lead this team. I can lead a team in Detroit. I think he's the most motivated guy this year. Great question. Appreciate it. Great point. First year coach is not eligible for Hard Knocks. Hey, thanks for bringing that in there. Then it's not going to be the Jags. Oh, bro. Kyle Massey, you're going to the Philly game from Jersey. Yo, got to be there. Man, is the game in Philadelphia? I thought it was home. That's my bad. Maybe I fly back to Jersey for that one and then shoot over to the Philly game. Yeah, you know what? I think that, even Graham, you're calling it out. I think all our wide receivers are going to have a chip on the shoulder as well. 100%. I mean, all of the smack talk that the national media has said about our wide receiver core, all of the smack that they're just like, oh, the Lions don't have any wide receivers. Basically, y'all suck. like that's the national media coming out and being like, all you wide receivers are garbage. You don't have anybody who takes the cake. Goff has nobody to throw to. When you have 6 guys playing wide receiver and the national media goes, oh, your quarterback has nobody to throw to, it's going to piss people off. And I think it's really pissing off but I think it's really getting our wide receivers a little upset. And I'm fine with that. Man, give me the fire. Give me the fire. That's something about DeAndre Swift that I love. I put out that video. Bro, when I look at them, at DeAndre Swift, the fire in that man's belly, He wants it. Last year, looking at a team that was just failing, DeAndre Swift had everything that they had, or DeAndre Swift gave it all that he had. I loved it, loved it. Oh, it is a home game. I see. You're flying in from Jersey. Kyle, my man. Very good. Excellent. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe this year we just set up a Let's Talk Lions. Everybody meets up at a bar somewhere in the Metro Detroit area for a game. We all go nuts, watch the Lions. Could be a fun time. We set that up. Just saying, just saying. Yeah, week 2 against Green Bay. CJ, my man, definitely here. The whole Aaron Rodgers thing. Let's just talk about that. Yo, when I look at Aaron Rodgers, obviously there's all this talk. I mean, I haven't seen anything else come out this week. I think he's still going to be with the Packers. I think that's also me. I'm just a realist. I look at it. I hope he's not, but in another sense, I want the Lions to get good and I want to beat Rodgers. I want to beat him unless the refs don't allow us. Julio to Detroit. No, it's not going to happen. Not going to happen. And I don't really want it to happen, to be honest. Hey, John Robinson, my man, thank you for giving a like over on the video. If you guys could just scroll down, do that, boost this in the algorithm, boost Let's Talk Lions up in the sky. I appreciate it. Thoughts on Todd Gurley? All right. So for those of you just coming in, obviously, I talked about Todd Gurley a little bit earlier. Todd Gurley, don't want him here. I think Todd Gurley is, I don't want to use the phrase washed up because I think he's an RB3 at this point. I think he should be getting paid not a lot for that knee, for the injury. And I like our running backs room. It's young. I don't want to take reps away from Swift. I don't want to take them away from Williams. And I don't want to take it away from Jamar Jefferson. I love what we have going there. To me, bringing in Gurley kind of messes up the whole, it puts a wrench in the works. I don't think that Gurley coming to Detroit is worth it, own opinion. I think that Brad Holmes was probably giving his boy a shot, right? Because he was there when he gets drafted. I think he's just giving his guy a physical to be like, hey, we want to show that we're going to evaluate you. But I don't think it meets the Campbell Holmes way. To bring in a guy like this, just a big name guy who's not washed up, but definitely over the hump at 26, which is really sad. Nah. He already won a game for the Lions. That is accurate. One of the best things I've ever seen. So Gurley or no Gurley? No Gurley. Great question. Don't want him. Not interested. I appreciate it, but nah. Odell to Detroit? Nah. Lemon. Oh, I just called you Lemon. My bad, bro. Lennon, Seagraves. Nah, I don't want any of these big name guys. I think that we're in a rebuilding. To me, to bring in a big name wide receiver, big name running back, like it just doesn't make sense. It doesn't fit the mold, doesn't fit what we're trying to do. Plus Odell Beckham, he just seems, he's not a cancer because that's not fair. I don't know the man. However, I think that he's not about the team. He's about him. He wants the ball. Stephon Diggs, somebody of such a high talented caliber, says, feed Brown. Like he's out there saying, feed Cole Beasley, feed the ball. He's telling his QB, he's telling Brian Dable, feed everybody but me. Like, we got to win this game. That's the heart. That's what I want. I don't want Odell out there who's getting all pissy on the sideline when he's not getting the ball. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not a guy who's there for the team. I don't want OBJ. I don't want a guy who's saying it's all about me. I want the reps. I want it all. Nah, not interested, man. Not interested. Ignoring all the allegations, what do you think about Deshaun Watson in Detroit? Ignoring the allegations, I don't want Watson. I like Goff. Say what you will. Watson, to me, I think he has the potential to be great. I mean, he's seen the playoffs multiple times. But no, I don't want Watson. I like Goff. I'm happy with it. Happy with the way he throws the ball, the accuracy, everything that Goff brings to the table, all the winning seasons he's had, seeing the Super Bowl with the right pieces around him. Goff's a good QB. I'm fine with it. I don't want Watson. Great question, though. Yeah, word is that the Packers were trying to get rid of Rodgers after this year, if it's true. Yeah, and then he had a balling year, wins the MVP, sticks it to him, and he's like, "What are you going to do? Get rid of me?" God, Aaron Rodgers. God. Yeah, and you know what? And this is what's hard is Goff is good. He almost won the Super Bowl. A lot of people will point to all the pieces around him, and I get it. He had great pieces around him. But you know what? When I look at Goff and I look at what he's able to accomplish, he's had 3 or 4 winning seasons, winning, 9-7, 10-6. Like Goff has led that team. Last year, obviously, he goes into the game 12 days after surgery, beats Seattle. I look at Goff. I'm excited about it. Watson greater than Goff all day. Obviously, it's sad that we even had to say without the allegations because I know nobody would be supportive of that. You think that Watson's greater than Goff? Hey, that's fair. That's fair. I mean, I'll look at some numbers, get back to you on that one. But I also think the way that Goff handles himself, handles the team, his leadership skills, I like that. That means a lot to me. What means a lot to me is the character of an individual's heart while on the field as well. And Watson's full of himself. And I get you got to have a chip on your shoulder, get out there and do what you got to do. But all in all, I love the way that Goff carries himself. Quiet, reserved, but when he's on the field, he's a competitor. Graham, my man, thanks for hanging out. Appreciate it. Yes, and this is what I'm saying. Concussed, I think we need a game manager, not a flashy player. I agree. And Goff is a game manager. He's good at that. That's what he does. He's not out there showing his little skinny muscles, pretending like he's God. He's out there just getting it done, excited, winning games. He's not full of himself. Watson is. I don't want that attitude in our locker room. I don't think we need it. Brandon Cooks to the Lions in trade. Are you telling me that's actually happening? Or is that just like that's what you want? Yeah, you know what, Dr. Detroit, no drama queens. I don't want any. I don't want OBJ for that. I don't want Watson for that. I don't want any guy who's going to get out there and it's about them. Not what I'm interested. Yeah, Xander Shea, I think Goff is great, but I don't think he's good enough to play till his kid, till he's 30 like others. I don't know that the end of that sentence. Till his kid 30s like others. Maybe my brain's just not working. Yeah, you know what? I think Goff has got, 6. I mean, he's 26 years old. You look at him. I could see him in the NFL till he's 34, especially if he's killing it. If he's killing it here in Detroit, I mean, maybe he becomes a backup if things don't go well. If it proves that he is not, if it was really McVay, if it was really the pieces around him, all in all, I kind of look at it and I'm like, Goff, I think he's going to find success. If he doesn't, Mitch Trubisky going to Buffalo, backup for Josh Allen. That could be the future of Goff. Do I think Hawkinson will have a better year this year? Absolutely, I do. I think Hawkinson's on the up and up. Man, you look at him, his first year where he's putting up 300 yards, and he only had 51 passes attempted to him. And then you look at him this year, right? This last year, he had 101 passes attempted. He had 730 yards, something like that off the top of my head. He doubles his performance in every aspect of the game. He had 19 converted first downs in 2019. Last year, he has 40 converted first downs. Like, Hawkinson balled out. He's put on even more muscle, more mass. He looks incredible. I think Hawkinson continues to grow, to develop, just gets better. And now they got him watching film on Calvin Johnson. Woo. Yeah. Penultimate. Any thoughts on OTAs? We talked about it a little bit earlier. When I look at the OTAs, some things that came out, Jeff Okuda looking good. Jeff Okuda's back at it. Obviously, the groin injury, not there anymore. He had surgery. He looks good, supposedly. His reach is even better. Jeff Okuda coming out, trying to pick up, have a better sophomore season. Excited for him. Jared Goff, another thing, looking sharp. Everybody's saying he looks good. Dave Phipp was talking about our returners, Khalif Raymond, Amon-Ra St. Brown. It sounds like Penei Sewell. the difficulty that he's having going over to the right tackle. Maybe not difficulty, but Campbell put it like this: he's a rookie. Those were his words. In other words, Penei Sewell is a rookie coming in. It's a new game. You're moving the guy over to right tackle. It's been a learning curve. Even Penei Sewell came out and said it. He said it's like writing with your right hand. You're a righty all your life. You put the pen in the left hand and they expect you to write your name at the same speed and accuracy. It's not an easy thing. Sounds like it is a difficult thing for Penei Sewell. But hey, that's why you have training camp. That's why you have OTAs. That's why you have it all. You have 3 months to try to get up to speed. So OTAs as a whole, definitely good. Definitely good. Listening to all the coaches talk. Aaron Glenn even talked about our defense, saying that they're getting in there, that these defensive guys, specifically looking at Levi, these guys are going to be kicking butt. What do I think about Jeff Okuda this year? And appreciate the question. Look, man, I think that Jeff Okuda is going to have a better year. I think he's going to have a better year. Why? He's got Aaron Glenn as a defensive coach. He has excellent leadership above him, where the guys are having fun. You listen to what OTAs right now compared to Matt Patricia. There was no fun in Detroit. You weren't allowed to have fun. Well, now you look at it this year, it sounds like they're actually like, hey, guys, remember, it's a kid's game. However, we are adults. We're playing this. You guys are getting paid, but you're playing a kid's game. TJ Hawkinson said that. I think that Jeff Okuda shows up this year and really grows, has a great year. I'm calling it. Jeff Okuda has a breakout year because now he's not living up to you were our first overall, third, or you were the first, pick for the Lions, third overall. He's not trying to live up to that expectation. He's coming in and he's got to just play the game. He's had the surgery. I think Jeff Okuda shows off this year. Ooh, my family's allowed to go to 2 home games this year. Which 2 would you go to? My question is, Blake, why, what do you mean you're allowed to? Is that just like, you're like, yo, COVID? Or are you saying like, hey, we have season tickets or we have tickets to 2 games. Which ones should we go to? I want to just look it up because I don't want to just spout off the top of my head. I just want to make sure that I got them right. I will say this, guys. I will be live streaming for those of you. I will be live streaming the preseason game against the Buffalo Bills here. It's going to be me and all the guys from draft night. So if you were here for draft night, you got to see myself, my brother, who's a Bills fan, my buddy Dan, who's a Bills fan. So we're going to have Bills fans, Lions fans watching the preseason game, watching our guys kick it off. We're going to live stream that here. Most likely just audio with, information, everything kind of going on in the background because the NFL will punch me in the head if I actually show the game. But join us for it. Just want to give you a heads up. Looking at who do we have for home games this season? All right. We have San Fran, Baltimore, Cincinnati, Philadelphia, Chicago, Green Bay. We have Minnesota and Arizona. If I was able to go to 2, I would go to the home opener, go to the San Fran game, watch that one. Oh, and I would probably, I want to see us beat Philly. So I'd probably go to the Philadelphia game. That's what I would do. Then again, so you get to watch Trey Lance, most likely week 1. And then Philadelphia, you could probably squeak out a win. That might be nice. God, I just hate Philly. So I would probably want to go to that game and I would be yelling way too much in the stands. Maybe I'll just hang out outside the field and I'll bring this banner and I'll just go nuts and they'll kick me off the premises. Week 3 against the Ravens. You know what? I saw the Ravens play the Bills 2 years ago, the year before COVID. Watching Lamar Jackson on the field was a ton of fun. That's also a good game. Could be a lot of fun to see Lamar Jackson out there. Yeah, Xander Shea, you know what? You look at our coaches. I know we're kind of coming up to the end here, coming up to the end of the hour. Our problem with coaches, Caldwell, Patricia, zero emotion. When I listened to Dan Campbell, I just listened to an entire press conference, spent like 20 minutes listening to him this morning. The guy, I'm like, I just want to work for you. I just want to be like a volunteer in the locker room. I want to do anything for this man. Just the way he speaks, the way he holds himself. The guy is excited to be here. He's excited to be a Detroit Lion head coach, where it felt like Matt Patricia was like, I kind of hate my job. I mean, Caldwell was emotionless. he was a good coach, in my opinion, in a lot of areas, didn't get the credit he deserved. And yeah, there was mistakes made. Every coach makes them. Every coach does. But when I listen to Dan Campbell, I listen to that guy talk, I'm like, man, I want to work for you. So anyways, we are coming up. Guys, friends, thank you for being here. If you could like the video, it helps. I know I hate saying that because it sounds so, I'm just like, oh, if you could like the video. Never like doing that. But if you could, supposedly it helps out. That's what people say. I appreciate you guys all hanging out, all 70, 80 of you this morning. I hope you enjoy your Memorial Day weekend because you get that Monday off. It's a good time. So rest, relax, and we'll hit it next week coming back in for some more Detroit Lions news. I'll keep you updated over the weekend. Anything new happens. Appreciate you guys all hanging out. Yeah, man. Everybody have a good day. If I could play, I mean, I'm not fast enough, but I would have loved to have played cornerback. I appreciate it. I would have loved to play DB, cornerback, safety, any one of those positions. That I love defense. All sports that I played, defense was my thing. Loved being a defensive player. Played baseball, loved being out on the field. Played lacrosse, loved playing defense. Give me defense, man. Anyways, friends, thank you for being here. I appreciate you guys. Carl Cameron, Aaron John, Penultimate, Xander Shea, YouTube guy, CJ, Lions fan. Guys, you're awesome. Enjoy your Memorial Day weekend. I'll catch you next time on Let's Talk Lions.